Over the past few days, media outlets worldwide have focused on events in Venezuela. The Venezuelan people, particularly in the United States, have responded to these tragic events. The patience of the Venezuelan people has been exhausted by Maduro's destructive behavior. Under Maduro's leadership, a large number of military personnel were unleashed against the Venezuelan people and employed to oppress them. Faced with Maduro's intimidation, the United States did not remain silent. Nicolás Maduro began to share information from reliable sources that he was planning to escape under pressure from the United States. Corina Machado did not accept this silently, but announced to the world the injustices committed. Thus, Maduro's worst prophecy has come true, and all his corrupt actions have been revealed. According to the latest news, the people of Venezuela, with the support of certain countries, arrested and detained an authorized military leader under Maduro's leadership. These events can be seen as the greatest indication of the decline of Maduro's power. Despite government calls for her arrest, Venezuelan opposition leader María Corina Machado made a statement at a massive rally in the capital, Caracas. Earlier this week, Machado went underground after accusing President Nicolás Maduro of defrauding opposition candidate Edmundo González of a clear victory in the presidential elections. The country's leader promised severe punishment for those protesters who claimed his re-election was fraudulent. Although the Electoral Commission, led by Maduro's allies, declared that Maduro obtained 52% of the votes last Sunday, independent observers criticized the lack of transparency. In recent days, security forces in Venezuela have been working to control the numerous protests. At least 11 people have died in clashes with the police. On Saturday, Maduro informed his supporters in Caracas that around 2,000 people had been arrested since the elections a week ago. Trump promised that this time he would not forgive and would apply the most severe punishment. International pressure on the government is increasing. On Friday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken stated that there is overwhelming evidence supporting González's victory in the elections. Blinken demanded the immediate release of all Venezuelans imprisoned while exercising their right to participate peacefully in the electoral process, or demanding transparency in the counting and announcement of results. It is important that law enforcement and security forces are not used as means to exert political violence against citizens exercising their democratic rights. Despite the increased risk of arrest, many Venezuelan citizens are determined to continue their protests, though some are opting to withdraw out of fear. More than 1,000 people have been arrested, according to Venezuela's Attorney General. Opposition politician Freddy Superlano, who has expressed harsh criticism of President Maduro, was also arrested. In a social media video, 6 men are seen taking him away in a minibus. His family demands proof that he is still alive and not held in an unknown location. President Maduro asked the Supreme Court to take action against the protesters, which would facilitate more arrests on Wednesday. Thousands of people marched on foot and by motorcycle in the march that began on Monday towards downtown Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. They were united by their anger over the false election results announced in favor of President Nicolás Maduro. Camacho took numerous photographs of smiles, flags, and even violence that day, but reported to Al Jazeera that since deleted them all. He is concerned about how Maduro's government might treat protesters who supported the opposition's claims of victory. For weeks, pre-vote polls indicated that Maduro would suffer a defeat against Edmundo González, a retired diplomat, provided the elections were free and fair. The opposition to Maduro had a significant lead of around 30 points. Exit polls showed a similar trend. However, in the early hours of Monday, Venezuela's National Electoral Council, CNE, revealed a different version of the voting results. According to the government agency, Maduro received more than 51% of the votes, giving him a comfortable 7-point lead over González. Protests began, leading to clashes between opposition supporters and security forces, resulting in arrests, injuries, and even fatalities. After days of unrest, many opposition supporters find themselves in limbo, caught between hope and fear of what might come next. Jorge Furman, 86 years old, has been protesting against Venezuela's socialist government for years. This regime began with the death of the late Hugo Chavez and continued with the election of his successor, Maduro. During a protest in downtown Caracas, a former education ministry worker held a self-made sign. The sign creates a visual illusion, showing González's face on one side and María Corina Machado, the expected challenger to Maduro, who has been barred from holding public office, on the other. Fermin criticized the CNE results as the biggest lie in the world. He believes the government knows the true results, but does not want to reveal them. So far, Maduro's government has not released the vote counts from each polling station, as traditionally done in the past. The CNE has only provided the overall percentage. However, data collected from surveys and delivered to the opposition indicate that González won with 67% of the votes. Despite calls from the opposition and the international community, the government has yet to provide evidence of Maduro's official victory. Although Maduro has promised to release the vote count, no exact date has been set. Fermin told Al Jazeera that the government has caused so much suffering and misery that now they are trying to take away their last hope. In Venezuela, his pension as a retiree is only $3 a month. He explained that signs supporting Maduro, which used to decorate almost every light fixture in Caracas, have disappeared, been cut down and thrown into large amounts of trash, or been burned. Several statues of the late Chavez, considered the founder of the socialist project in Venezuela, have also been destroyed. Margarita Lopez, a Venezuelan historian who has researched the protest movement in Venezuela and Chavez's socialist government, told Al Jazeera that current protests share similarities with those of the past. The destruction of statues and banging on pots and pans are forms of protest. Machado addressed her supporters in Caracas, stating, "It doesn't seem like it's going to be long before so many people fighting for justice, even if delayed, get what they want." The actions of thousands of people exercising their right to protest and being punished for it will be enough to overthrow Maduro's regime. Thank you for visiting us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications.